Take three, rolling, action. Oh hi, good morning folks. Welcome back to our channel. I am Akshit Dingle and he's Ninad Bule.
Hey guys.
And the bike we're gonna review today needs no introduction.
Bro, there's no bike, bro.
Oh bro, I just parked here bro. There's nothing to I can't see anything. There's no bike.
So here it is fellas, this bike needs no introduction because it's GSX X 750S. Welcome back to 3 Motorheads, I'm Anna, so let's get started.
So let's talk about figures now. This engine is equipped with 4 cylinders and it produces 114 bhp at 10,500 rpm, and at 9,000 rpm it produces 81 newton meters of torque. The headlights are the front is the halogen setup and the indicators are also a halogen setup, but the rear the tail light gets an LED setup. And this bike overall, according to its looks, it looks very streamlined and muscular at the same time. Like, it'll cut through air very easily, and surprisingly this bike is very easy to ride in city conditions because first of all it's a naked bike, and the stock exhaust actually sounds really good. But here this bike right now is equipped with a Akrapovic slip-on, the carbon slip-on, and it gets twin pedal disc at the front with Nissin calipers, and at the back it gets a single pedal disc with Nissin calipers as well. The brakes feel quite responsive, and you have to give it that this is a heavy bike, but it doesn't feel while riding it, but while braking, yeah, you can feel the weight a bit. So overall the design of the tank is quite bulky, and it's a 16-liter tank with which can hold a lot of fuel, and the instrument cluster is also quite nice. Here you can see, you can look at how much kilometers this bike has done by toggling the switch upwards, and you can see how much fuel is remaining in it, and the average and the live average as well, and the time. Plus you can change the traction control. It has 3 settings which are off, 1 and 2. So now I'm in 2, now I'm shifted to 3, now I'm in off, and this is 1. So off is like if you're riding on the track and you're a really professional rider, then you can put it on off, or 1 is for like really good road conditions, which sadly we don't have here in India. So I keep it at 2 most of the times. And overall this bike feels really nice, and it's fun to ride, doesn't surprise you, doesn't have a lot of power, like excess power it doesn't have, but you get the power then and there where you need it. Okay guys, the pillion seat on this bike is not that comfortable because it's really small, but if you're buying a super bike, who really gives a shit about the pillion seat? And there's some storage here, so you can store it like one bottle, like a 500 milliliter bottle in here, and you get a toolkit as well. And so let's talk about the tank now. The tank is quite broad, and you have to really sit in between, and The riding posture is not that aggressive. It's really comfortable, and you sit quite upright. But it's good for city riding and stuff, so you don't get tired too quickly. So this bike gets an easy start. You don't have to hold the start button that much. Just touch it and it'll get started right away. So let's go. Let's give it some beans. So first of all, this bike, the pickup and all is really good, and overall this bike feels really nice. The engine is not that bassy like the Z800 or something, but it sounds really sweet, and you know, so yeah, it's very convenient to ride in the city, and the handlebar is also quite wide, so it's very easy to maneuver. Despite being 216 kgs, the weight doesn't, you know, you can't feel the weight. And you get a adjustable lever, brake lever, front brake lever, but not the clutch. And you know, let's take a U-turn from here now, shall we? Always wear your safety gear, guys, because it's dangerous, and you know, it might not be your mistake. Because of someone else, you might end up really hurt. So let's give it the beans now, shall we? So it also gets a low RPM assist, which if you're below a certain RPM, the bike will just go on. You don't have to do much work. Like, this is very useful for traffic conditions, and the power really kicks in after around 4,000 or 5,000 RPM. But till then it's just in your hands, and it's not that jumpy or anything, but it's really nice. So let's try and kick it above. So 4,000, 5,000. Oh my god, it's really fast. My god, I can't describe it. The feeling, the rush you get is just phenomenal. The power delivery on this bike is extremely linear. And you have all the control in your own hands. So it's really fun. And this bike, although doesn't get a slipper clutch, I would have loved that, because, and it's really disappointing because most of the bikes in this and its lower segment get a slipper clutch now, because it's just how it is. And wow, just phenomenal, man. Just listen. I wish you could listen to the sound, this engine. Just amazing. So yeah, that's all for this bike. Let's get back to our filming place.
You have seen this bike, what can